is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got a battle report for you today. We're doing Death Guard versus Chaos Space Marine. We got our boy Garrett on the channel. I don't think we did a live stream on this on the Patreon page, so I took pictures and we went over this. This was a little bit ago. I would say this is about maybe a month ago, give or take. We do Monday Night Gaming. If you guys are Patreons, you guys get to see live games, usually Grandmasters suggestions on what they want to see. Coming up on patreon.com. Those are live games. You guys get to see me kind of play one-on-one or, with somebody else that wants to test out a specific matchup from the Grandmasters or a specific list that you guys want to see. So that's on Monday Night Gaming. But in this video, we're going to go over picture by picture, turn by turn, what we did good, what we could improve, and it's to get you guys better at the game in 10th edition, specifically for these two armies that you're seeing on the table. We try and give insights on how the opponent could have done better. It's not just surely, hey, this is what we did, this is what this army does, it's what the other army could have done better, so that way you guys can learn both Chaos and Death Guard. Now, I've been playing Death Guard for a little bit. Now they are super fun. In 10th edition, they just keep trying to buff them and make them a little bit more playable. When they first came out, it's not the best. I feel like it's an uphill battle every time we play. But when you get used to the army and you kind of know the tricks and tactics and stuff like that, they are a really tough army to go against, especially if you're a consistent know the core rules player, then you really have a good chance of winning the matchup. So we'll go over the lists. After we go over the list, we'll go over the matchup on the tabletop, and then we'll go over picture by picture to kind of show you that what we're doing with this game. Now, real quick, we do have a new merch tab up on Discord. So all these stickers are available. They're about 3.5, sometimes 4 inches for the stickers. And then we have a new widget. You can't really see it in the little thing, but we're going to do green or orange clear plexiglass widget. It's the 6-inch widget with inside you can take it out, which has a little 3-inch widget, 1-inch, 2-inch, and then a 1/2 inch. And then up top, it's the 1-inch, 6-inch, 2-inch, 4-inch dice in colors of what we have, and the models for the proxies. We have a Kaldis Assassin, Codiez, the Lieutenant with Combi, and also the Phobos Librarian. A lot of people are asking for those, so we got those made up. So hit me up on Discord if you guys are interested in any of these, and let's get into the video. All right, today for Death Guard, we got Mortarion leading it off. We got 3 Playburst Crawlers, 3 Flesh Mowers, testing those guys out, 90 points. We got the Banner, 45 points. We have the Lord of Virulence, Typhus, unit of 6 Death Shroud, 2 2 Nurglings, and 2 units of Death Guard Cultists for 2,000 points.
So today, starting off, we have my Khorne Demon Prince. He has the enhancement of the Talisman of Burning Blood. Gives him extra attack strength on his attacks. We have a unit of Nurgle Cultists, a unit of Nurgle Bikes, 2 5-man Slaanesh Legionnaire units with Slaanesh Lords inside of the now Slaanesh Rhino. We have a unit of 10-man Undivided Chosen with the Master of Possession in an Undivided Rhino.
Nice.
Nurgle Forge Fiend, Nurgle Brick of Accursed Cultists, 2 units of Nurglings, and then we have a 10-man squad of Demonettes with Celeste.
Okay, that's fine. But for the rest of your army, then.
Alright guys, so you can see those were the lists. He changed it up a lot since then. I'm going to go over what we liked and didn't like about our lists. I've been running Predators in mine for Death Guard, and they are freaking insane. I switched them over to Chaos as well, so my Chaos list, I'm running Predators. With Death Guard, I'm running Predators. They're just, especially with Death Guard, with the -1 to their saves, it's the infantry one, Destructor, I think, where you get an extra AP if you're shooting infantry units. So basically, the autocannon's AP1 goes up to AP2. If you're in contagion range, AP3. Heavy bolters, same thing, which have lethal and sustain, which is nuts. They are 6 shots, hitting on 3s. If you're with Morty, you ignore everything, and then it's AP3 bolters going into models that are -1 to their toughness. So the Predators are definitely something I'm trying out in the future games. I might be running Death Guard up on Monday for live streaming for Patreons. So if you guys are Death Guard players, head over there so you guys can watch me play it live. But this is the map. If you guys could see to the left or the right of me, we got Sites of Power, which is, you know, it's a hit or miss. A lot of people either like this or don't like it. Your lists really determine if you're going to be successful at it or not. Sometimes if you run one or two characters, you have to basically fight for the center objectives, any of those three, to try and get Sites of Power. If you put a character on any one of these three in the middle during command phase, you get an extra 3 points because it's empowered. It doesn't count towards your objective or the enemy's objective, which I learned at a GT actually. I ran my dude across the table to get on his objective, and it didn't count. It's only in the center objective. So make sure you remember that you only get Sites of Power in the center 3. So this is the terrain setup. You guys can see these little things are counting as ruins. They're supposed to be little rectangles. In all the videos coming up, we have plexiglass on the terrain feature, which Rexar lasers in the description below. He sells them for $40. You guys get free shipping for anything over $50, but he has a whole terrain setup for, I believe, $99. And the widgets, you guys can do that unless you want the Dirtbag widget. You can ask him for that as well. So the terrain setup is like this. It's a kind of little square rectangle in the center, which is the mosh pit, kill pit. All these other ones are the rectangles. This green is also supposed to be a rectangle with ruins, 2 inch in height. These are 2 inches in height, and this is 2 inches in height, so that way you can just walk right over it if you're a vehicle. And these are blocked off at the top area for an extra 2 inches. That and that. All right. So this is the setup. I believe it's 18 inches up on both sides. He sets up basically in that corner. I set up basically in this corner with our 3 Plagueburst crawlers. We want to try and keep them around 6 inches away from Mortarion, so that way they get to ignore everything. And when they're shooting out of line of sight, they ignore the out of line of sight negative, so they're hitting on 3s instead of hitting on 4s. And if you do the contagion bile something, I actually just looked it up, boil blight, that's the, you gain heavy, so if you don't move, you gain the heavy keyword, which you hit on 2s then, and you ignore cover, which is a huge buff to Death Guard. So basically you're running like your cultists up and getting them in contagion range, and then you spend the 1 CP, so anything that shoots that unit gets ignore cover and heavy, which is just brutal. So here we got the cultists here. They're going to be the pregame move. The other cultists are back here blocking deep strikes. We have the really quick guys, speed 10, flesh mowers, kind of ready to pounce. We have Morty right behind this cover, so that way he can't see me. We did upgrade our Morty. This is the old Morty. We have the new Morty now, so the actual Morty model. We were using this proxy for a while, but now with the new Morty, it's pretty cool that I can't wait to paint him up. He's such a freaking cool model, and he's not going to break. So 3 Plagueburst crawlers, 2 behind the cover, 1 just back there in case I need to move up and get some line of sight. Nurglings are here in case we get something in the center turn 1, so that way they can hop out and do either an action or aerial denial or something like that, and then they're over here in case we have to do something down here. So this guy is only within, I think, 2 inches, so I need 2 inch advance to get onto this objective. And then up here, they're going to get their scout move, so I can scout move up 6 inches and get on either of these 2 objectives. So I love the cultists in Death Guard because of the pregame move. Pregame move, scout move in any army is so good. I ran a scout video. If you guys want to check that out, it's scout and reserves. Infiltrate and scout. They're so good in this game in 10th edition for secondaries. He puts his Nurglings basically the same spot as I do, so same thing, that you can move up or get on the 2 objectives. The cultists are there to just advance forward as much as possible. The Slanesh guys, or I'm sorry, these are the undivided chosen. Slanesh guys are here so that way they can use them as launching missiles from the side. Anytime you have rhinos, you want to kind of find a spot, park it, and use it as a launching point to get out 3 inches from the rhino. So when you get out of the rhino, you're out 3 inches, then you can either advance if you're Slanesh, or if you're chosen, you can advance out. So it's just a super far threat range from a rhino behind cover. So it's super scary when you're playing Chaos Space Marines. Then another Forge Fiend right there, which can't be shot because he's on the other side of the ruin. Cultist back here. And I believe the bike's back here. In Deep Strike, we have the Termies. I think both Termi units. He's got these guys in Rhino, Deep Strike. So we have a ton of Deep Strike. I think I have 1 Nurgle in Deep Strike as well. Same with him. So we roll off. Death Guard go first. So first turn, we get aerial denial, which again, we're planning for that to get turn 1. If you don't plan for turn 1 like crappy secondaries, you're not going to win the most of the time you're not really going to win the game. You're going to be coming from behind, not really getting as many points turn 1, and your opponent might have planned well for turn 1, so he's going to get a lot more points than you are. So make sure that you're watching my video. It's basically how to set up for turn 1, especially playing tactical. So set up for turn 1 as if you're getting some of the worst secondaries you can. Investigate signal. We have cultists back there. We have the vehicle back here. We have so basically we would have got 4 almost guaranteed turn 1 if we got investigate signals. Aerial denial, we had these guys. Cleanse, we had 2 objectives. Those are basically the main ones that you want to try and get turn 1, and you have to set up properly for it. So we move up our cultists over here. We get we move up, and then we decide to not kind of put them on the objective, which I'm not sure was a good plan or bad plan. But if I would have just kind of moved up and sat on the objective, he would have had to commit a lot to try and take those cultists off the objective. Instead, we try to stop his Nurglings from doing actions for him on turn 1. So aerial denial, we move up our Nurglings to advance them and get them in the center, so that way they're getting aerial denial. I move up my cultists and I charge their Nurglings and try and spread out, so that way if these guys do come out, they can't. Basically, I'm blocking these accursed cultists from getting to the center, and I'm blocking these guys from moving anywhere on this side. They have to basically get out this way and then come around this way, which now they're closer to Mortarion. So that was kind of a game plan where I wanted my cultists just to be screening unit. So they basically moved up, charged, got where they wanted to go. If I could have tugged the Rhino, I would have. So if these guys were close enough, I could have basically moved up, charged, consolidate, and tagged the Rhino on turn 1. But I didn't get far enough, so they're basically doing their job by just being meat shields in the center. Didn't get anything on the center, didn't get anything on that one, and I only have this one with a flesh mower, and my back one, which was sticky. So we got 5 points to turn 1. His turn 1, he goes for cleanse and capture enemy outpost. Obviously, he's not going to capture enemy outpost. We ditched to bring it down because I wasn't going to attack any of his vehicles turn 1. So capture enemy outpost, he basically gives up because there's no point of getting that. And then cleanse, he has to choose to either cleanse this objective or this objective. He chooses to cleanse just one because his Rhino can move up 12 inches, get on the objective, and then cleanse. The Nurglings have to fall back so they can't do a cleanse. And then these guys aren't Slanesh, so they aren't able to basically advance up and do an action. They could advance up, but instead he moved up just to kind of get some charges off on my cultists to finish off the cultists. So that's basically what he does turn 1, is he moves up, falls back, does cleanse there, moves up, takes over this objective, takes over that objective, and then these guys stay in the Rhino to save for a couple turns. This thing moves up to get line of sight. In case I move this way, he can basically get a nice little overwatch going. The bike stayed back there. In this corner, they can hop off the terrain or the board if they're wholly within 6 inches of the terrain feature. So I love bikes. Bikes are super good for chaos. If you're not running bikes, you should run bikes. The cultists, they did their job by making this sticky. Now I told him on turn 1, once they make that sticky, run back for investigate signals. So that way they're your investigate signal target. When you do investigate signal, you want to be your movement phase or movement speed plus 9 inches from the corner. All of your models, because you have to be wholly within 9. So you want to measure for these guys, it would be 14 inches. So speed 15 inches, speed 6, 9 inches. You want to be 15 inches from that corner to here. So if you do a little cone, you don't want to go past that cone. He left some of his cultists out here, which if he would have got investigate signals, they wouldn't be able to get back there to do an action. So once you get the sticky on the home field objective, just run the cultists back in the corner. So that way you're setting up for investigate signals if you were to get it. Luckily, he didn't get it turn 1 or turn 2. So that way, again, make sure you're planning for it. But that is his turn 1. Nothing really crazy. We get 6 for primary because we held this center with this flesh mower. I didn't have enough movement to get Morty on there, or that would have got me an extra 3 points. Then back here we held the backfield objective, which was sticky. So we got 6 points on turn 1 for primary. We had extend battle lines and engage in off range, which are both pretty easy, especially coming into turn 2. So turn 2, we start bringing in the Terminators. We didn't bring in Typhus. I think I wanted to rapid ingress him, because if I bring Typhus down, he can basically bring on guys or do whatever to try and attack them or focus them down. So instead, I keep them off the table for one more turn, but these guys do come down, and I get line of sight onto this chosen unit. And these guys are just waiting. So I move up the Plaguebearer's Crawler to get more bodies on this objective. I think it's OPSEC 4, which is just good. So 4 and then 3, so I have 7 OPSEC on this point. Nurglings deep strike in this corner for engaging all fronts, and if I get the charge, I get the charge, which they actually get the charge off on these bikes, and I know the bikes can't kill 3 Nurglings, so I'm fine for engaging all fronts to just tie up the bikes so that way they can't fall back and get off the board, which they might still be able to. I'm not sure. I don't know if they're not engagement range they can get off, but I wanted to just tie them up so that way they can't do an easy action in that corner on his turn. Everything else basically scooted up. They shot the Plaguebearer's Crawlers and everything at the Rhino. So that way we actually blew up the Rhino with the Plaguebearer's Crawlers. Once it blew up, these guys had to get out. So now they're basically walking instead of getting the extra 3 inches for the movement when they advance out of the Rhino. So that was the goal, is trying to get these guys to walk across the table instead of using the Rhino to freaking fly across the table. So the Flesh Mower scooches up, charges the Nurglings, and then this Flesh Mower moves up and charges the Accursed Cultists. So I'm not sure if that was the best move for them, because now I'm just tied down to the Accursed Cultists, but these guys have a move where you can fall back, shoot and charge, which is really good, but with the bigger Accursed Cultists, they actually do some work to these guys. So you take it down to 2 wounds, and this guy didn't get hurt at all. The Nurglings that were in the center, they basically scooch up to try and tie up this tank. So I wanted to tie up the Forge Fiend, but I was too far away because they're only speed 5. So I went from here to here, and then I made the charge onto the Rhino, and I wanted to try and consolidate. But when I consolidate, I have to go base to base to this model. So I couldn't get another one into the Forge Fiend, or else I would have tried to tie up the Forge Fiend on turn 2. But instead, we, again, block these guys from getting anywhere on this side of the wall. So that way, when I'm using these guys as meat shields, essentially, they basically charge the Rhino, block them, because the only way he's able to get out is he has to get out over here, which just takes away from his distance to get closer to me. So now I'm feeling more safe from these guys out of the Rhinos because of my Nurglings move blocking. Now all he has to do is come around here, move up, but look how far that distance is from walking around this way to get to my Terminators compared to going straight this way to get to my Terminators. So that's why I dropped them down right there. I didn't want to get shot by the Forge Fiend, so I tried to make it as hard as possible to get shot by him. And that was my turn 2. We got extend for 5 and then engage all fronts for 3. His turn 2, he had a lot of models. So he was able to get a 12 for primary because he had 6 here. I believe he had 6 on here and then 6 on there. So 3, 6, 9, 10, 12. So he had 3, 3, 3, and then an extra 3 on this because he had the character on that objective. So he actually got 12 on turn 2. His secondaries are overwhelming force and engage in all fronts. So he has to try and kill models on objectives. This model is only at 2 wounds, but it's not on objective. And he has to also get engaged in all fronts. So on his turn 2, he tries to get his chosen to scooch up, charge, and get into this quarter. So he wants to kill this Flesh Mower. This Flesh Mower should hopefully die with all of his Accursed Cultists there. The Legionnaires advance out of this Rhino over here, so that way they can help kill this thing if he doesn't do it. So these guys advance out of the Rhino. They're Slanesh, so they can advance and charge for 1 CP. Nurglings again did their job by forcing them to go that way. Forge Fiend scooted back so he doesn't get shot by the Plaguebearer's Crawlers, and doesn't want to get charged by these Terminators. So again, we kind of played the waiting game for Death Guard this game. So all the Plaguebearer's Crawlers is just launching mortars across the table, and he's waiting to kind of get his charge off with all of his guys in the Rhinos. Then over here, we did rapid ingress our Typhus over to here, so that way we can countercharge his chosen that are starting to move towards my side of the table. This charge from the cultist to here, I think was like a 7. So if he can get that charge off on this cultist, he's able to clearly get into that side of the table. And why I drop these guys here is so that way, if he does get that charge off, I could potentially countercharge to try and get them into combat. So that was my game plan, was I was going to drop them down here, try and get an Overwatch and then a counter, so that would have been 3 CP, but still probably well worth it. It would have been all the Flamer shots into the Chosen, try and do something to them. They're -1 of their saves, and counter charge. So I definitely would have munched them if they got into combat with the Chosen. Probably would have got munched back, potentially, but we would have seen. And then over here, he gets his charge off on this guy, and I think he blows that up. Yeah, so he easily blows up this one. Comes into here, takes this guy down to 1 wound. So this guy's only left with 1 wound over there. He shot and killed, I think, 3 of my Terminators down here. These guys deep struck down here. To try and get some charges off onto my objective to steal this objective. So this guy is leading the unit. Celeste, I think. Celeste is leading the Demonette's unit. So he's trying to get that. I think he needs an 8. He failed. Rerolled it. Failed again, which wasn't good. Bikes are still on the table against the Nurglings. And these guys are still in combat with the Nurglings over here. So that is all he did on his turn. This guy lived with 1 wound. But he has the objective. These guys are starting to get whittled down. He does have the Dark Commune in that unit, and the Chosen obliterate the dudes over here. So he shot this guy, which I think is anti-demon 2+ or devastating wounds on 2+, something like that. And then all of the combi weapons does all the mortal wounds. So he spends 1 CP to reroll wounds and just kills 3 of my Terminators, which takes them out of the counter charge aura. So he can't counter charge because he charges outside of 6 inches. So then I can't counter charge. So all I have left in this unit is 3 with Typhus, which is still pretty good. But getting around 10 Chosen is going to be tough. So on turn 3, we get 6. We hold the backfield objective, and we hold this one again. Again, I fucked up Morty. Morty should be on his objective just waiting. So Morty backed up to try and keep all the Plagueburst crawlers within 6 inches of him, but instead he should have just been camping this objective, getting me 6 points every single turn. So instead, I get 6 points for primary instead of 9. We have Investigate Signals and Capture Enemy Outposts. I am nowhere near his outpost down here. I have a unit of Nurglings, and I have another unit of Nurglings, and that's it. This is the closest unit right here, but they're too slow to get fucking anywhere near this objective. So that's going to be a tough one for us to get. Investigate Signals, we still have our Nurglings coming down, so I think they came down up there to do Investigate Signals. Yeah, so the banner guy walked in down here. It sucks because I had to walk him in on my table edge to do Investigate Signals. I didn't want to sacrifice my Playburst crawler to do it, so I basically spent or brought in my banner guy in the bottom left corner to try and do Investigate Signals for 2 points. The Nurglings are so looks like he wasn't able to get enough attacks onto my cultist. He probably was only able to get like 1 or 2 onto them because of how far the distance was. So I actually had some cultists live, and I probably spent 1 CP to auto pass them for the leadership, so that way they're able to back up and do Investigate Signals back there. These Terminators start kind of moving towards this blob. I do have everybody just aiming at them now. I have a Plagueburst Crawler here. I have a Plagueburst Crawler here. I have a Plagueburst Crawler over here. Moved back to get line of sight onto his Forge Fiend. I moved up Mortarion and the Flesh Mower to try and deal with this demon unit that came in from reserves, and then this slow ass Terminator brick is starting to move up to try and get some charges off on this unit over here. So we're basically slowly moving across the table. This 1 wound guy backed up over here, and I think he overwatched or just killed me in melee. Rapid ingressing the Demon Prince down in the corner over there. So when I was moving up this way, he's like, shit, I need to get somebody over here to defend this guy. So he rapid ingresses Khorne Demon Prince right here. But when he does that, he gives me line of sight to these 2 Plagueburst Crawlers with my D6 plus 1 damage shots. So he tried it, put him down in that corner, and this is all that's left in that corner. So I killed all of the Chosen with the character, with the Typhus shooting. The entropy cannons went into the Demon Prince, which has a 2-up, 4-up so he's pretty tanky, and we took him down to 5 wounds. So we took 6 wounds off of him from the shooting. Then we got this guy dead, so the flesh mower died to the chosen units. The Terminators made their charge onto the Accursed cultists and finished them off with just a shit ton of attacks. Now we have a character in the center camping. We have nobody here, but he's got a character there. And these guys are probably going to die to either the Chosen or the Demon Prince. Over here, he's still got these guys waiting. And back here, we finished off the demons, but Salaxi is still there with 3 wounds. So on his turn 3, he gets 9 for primary because he's able to get 6 there, and then on his home field objective, so he gets 9. He kept overwhelming force because he's got to try and kill models on objectives. Or no, he probably ditched it. I just didn't mark it. Sorry. So he's got behind enemy lines and extend battle line. So if he controls one of the objectives in no man's land, which he does, and controls his home field objective, which he does, he moves up his Forge Fiend to get some shots off on either any one of these guys down here. The guys get out of the Rhino, the Legionnaires, so they hop out, advance, spend 1 CP so they get advanced and charge. So they hop down here so that way he can do something and try and steal this objective back. There's 5 Legionnaires and a Lord. They get the charge off on this Plaguebear's Crawler. I'm sorry, this Flesh Mower, but managed not to kill him. I think I rolled a couple 5s for the invulns, but take him down to 4 wounds. Shellax is still kind of there in combat, just swinging away on each other. And we got the Nurglings still alive since turn 1, in combat with this freaking Rhino still. These Lords scooch up to try and stay on the objective to try and keep the objective safe. The Nurglings move up and move block, so I was very proud of him doing this because I'm too slow and I can't get around and I can't get on the objective. So he moved block the Nurglings very, very well. So good job, Garrett. Basically kept these guys to where the fuck they are right now because I can't move up and charge and get around them to get on the objective. So this move block was really good by the Nurglings. He had behind enemy line, so he has to basically charge or move up his Demon Prince 12 inches and try and steal my backfield objective, but he's OPSEC 3, OPSEC 4, so he has to kill my Plaguebear's Crawler to steal the objective from me. But that's a huge swing. If he kills my Plaguebear's Crawler, steals the objective, and gets rid of my sticky, that's huge. So he gets behind enemy lines with that Demon Prince for 3, and extend battle lines he gets for 5. So a really good turn by Garrett on turn 3. Our turn 4, we're now trying to, we have our guys kind of all over the place, but we're whittling down the chaos. There's not a lot of chaos left. They are on the points, so we have to try and take the points back by turn 4 and turn 5. Turn 4, we get 9 for primary because we do have a character in the center. And then down here we have, shit, do I have, let's go to turn 4. Was I supposed to get another one? Yeah, I was supposed to get 12. Gosh darn it. So we had a character here that's 6 points, and then we had a character here that's another 6 points. So I think I should have had 12 instead of 9. Fucking Garrett, god damn it. All right, so I get 12 because I own this one, and then again I can't get to that one. But he does kill my Plaguebear's Crawler. So this fucking, I love this Demon Prince. It's a Khorne Demon Prince with Burning Blood. He gets an extra attack, an extra strength, and an extra D3 attacks and strength with the enhancement. It's a 20-point enhancement. It kills everything. So, very, very good enhancement. So he killed my Plaguebear's Crawler pretty easily. But all he's got left is the Forge Fiend, Demon Prince, Lord with 2 dudes, Lord with 1 dude, Nurglings, Cultists, and Bice down there. So we get overwhelming force, so all we have to do is kill shit on objectives and secure no man's land. We have to control 1 and control the back one. So we move up the Plaguebear's Crawler to try and get this objective back. We point all of the guns at that Demon Prince, which he just gets obliterated. So we shoot everything at the Demon Prince, kill the Demon Prince, take the objective back, and then we control this one down here by killing Sile, which he doesn't roll a 1 to get back up. I was shocked at that. He was shocked at that. So Sile did not get back up. So we killed Sile, killed the Lord, killed the Legionnaire that was left on the objective. We hold this one, kill all those guys. And up here, we move up and steal the home field objective. So we kill the Forge Fiend, steals home field. The Rhino is dead. These guys all that's left. So we have, I think there's a Nurgling right there that lived, and then these guys are still in the point. So on turn 4, he gets 9 still, because he controlled this and this with, or he probably controlled that and my home field objective for 3. So we got 9 for turn 4. He gets deploy teleport homers, which I believe he does with the... How does he get deploy? He actually might have done that with the Demon Prince. So the Demon Prince probably had an option of doing deploy in my battle thing, or leave the objective and try and kill the Plague Burst Crawler. So I think he got 5 points for deploy teleport homer and got in my deployment zone. So I got him 5. And then he died. So overwhelming force we got, and secure no management land for 5 and 5. Then his turn 4, he gets deploy teleport homers and assassinate. So his assassinate targets are the guy with 6 bodyguard around him, Mortarion, and Typhus with 3 bodyguard around him. So it's going to be tough for him to kind of snipe them out. The Lord probably could have done it, but not with me on the offensive now. And then after turn 4, we get 12 for Sites of Power, because we had we don't have that. So we have 3 here. This is sticky in the center. So we had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12. I think Morty was here. So we had 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I still fucking wasn't on this objective because of that stupid Nurgling that was holding them up in combat. He then charges me in his turn to try and kill Typhus, because he kept assassinated. So he tried to kill Typhus, wasn't able to kill him with a 2-up, 4-up, -1 to the wound because of the bodyguard unit. And then his last turn, he wasn't able to get anything. So with that guy dying, he didn't get there. He's basically tabled. He has Nurglings in this back corner, and then he's got Cultists in this back corner. So let's go over the score. We have Death Guard with 70. Did we get paint scores in this one? No paint. So technically we have 80 to 59. So Death Guard, we have 33 for primary, which isn't the best for primary. And then we have 37 out of 40 for secondary. So very, very good secondary showing for Death Guard. And then for Chaos Space Marine, we had 30 out of 50 for primary. So I only beat him by 3 on primary. And then 19 out of 40 for secondary. So the secondaries was the tough bet for Garrett this game. We had overwhelming force, which he wasn't able to get. Capturing the outpost turn 1 was just a bummer. And then assassinated, wasn't able to kill back on turn 4, turn 5. So it was tough for secondaries for him. He got a couple 3s there instead of 5s. But all in all, great game, great showing by Garrett. The Chaos, what he liked and didn't like was the Legionnaires with Slaanesh. That was something that he was really trying out in that Rhino. So it's 2 Lords of Slaanesh with Legionnaires. It's just not the same as Chosen. So Chosen be able to advance for free and get the charge off in AP2 attacks instead of AP1 with the Chainswords. That was basically the biggest difference. He loved the Demon Prince. Demon Prince I like as well. It's just super cool. If you like the model and you like the idea of having a Demon Prince to come down with rapid ingress, run up and charge and kill something, really good idea, really cool way to run him. The Sile, that was something that we were both trying to test out and see if it was good. Him leading a unit, I don't think I would do. I think I would run him solo and then have the Demonettes be there for just secondary purposes. So whether they come down safe in a corner or you start them on the table, like either way, they're going to be just mainly focused on secondary and kind of like moving up and charging and just blocking, like being meat shields. And then Sile could be solo and go off and do more secondaries. So if I were to do that combo, I would do Sile solo and then the Demonettes solo as well. So 2 different units instead of 1 unit. Now them with 1 unit, he does buff them a little bit, but again, you have to come down and make that charge. So you already have a rapid ingress target, which is the Demon Prince. Really hard to have 2 rapid ingress targets because CP, and you're now 1 turn later in the game. So that's basically how I do it. The 6-mans wasn't bad. The Death Shroud, they weren't bad. I think I would have 3 3-mans better. I think I would have 3 3-mans with the same characters one being just solo, coming in from Deep Strike, maybe having a sorcerer with them, the sorcerer 70 points solo. So you can tie that with them, but definitely Typhus. Typhus is just so good. You can run him solo and have the bodyguard unit solo as well. So you have a lot of options to do more secondary units for Death Guard. And the Plagueburst Crawlers, they're still fine. I think they're really expensive. But the Predators, again, I'm talking to a lot of guys on Discord, a lot of Patreons, where the Predators are so good for 130 points. Hopefully they don't get touched at all, because then with Death Guard are probably one of the best, especially with the additional AP if they're in contagion range, and the +1 or -1 to their toughness. So now they're strength 9 and then strength 5 going into toughness 3 and 4. Toughness 6 go down to toughness 5, toughness 5 go down to toughness 4. So it's definitely really good with Death Guard, the Predators. So I'm definitely going to try that in the upcoming games. There's going to be a lot of Death Guard matches coming up. I think I have 2 or 3 in the pipeline, and then 1 for live on Patreon if you guys want to go join that on Mondays. But yeah, I definitely said everything I needed to say about the Chaos, what you could have done differently. I think the biggest thing was making sure that your guys are staying on the objectives and just keep fortifying one of these, because if you hold one of these every single turn and then hold this every single turn, you basically have 9 every single turn, which you're going to max out primary pretty easily, and then on turn 4 and turn 5 you can really push for that 12 pointer, and then stopping their primary as well, which is going to be key. I do like the double units in the Rhinos. The 1 10-man chosen unit is expensive. I think you have to get their points back. This game they did not get their points back. I think they killed a flesh mower and half of a cultist unit, and that was it. So make sure that you're charging them to get their points back. If you were to switch like this Rhino over there and that Rhino over here, so that way that Rhino was the one that moved up and got that point, and then the chosen were basically there waiting to counteract. So if they countered and killed this unit, that definitely would have got their points back. So I think it just came down to deployment, where if you have the one up here to kind of stand back here to be the launching platform right there, instead of the one all the way back here in your deployment zone. So the one in your deployment zone could have been the 10 chosen, and the one up here could have been the 2 5-mans with the lords as launching points, because then you could launch this way to get on my home field objective, or you could launch this way to fight for the center objective. And then over here, you basically just have gun line of the Forge Fiend, the bikes trying to I tied up the Nurglings over here, but the bikes could have done a little bit more. They didn't really do anything all game, and using the Demonettes to kind of jam up this zone down here. So that's basically what I would have done differently. The Demon Prince did what he had to do. He killed a Plagueburst Crawler, stole the home field objective, got behind enemy lines, and then he also got another deployed teleport over. So it's a good game. Guys, let me know in the comments below what you liked, didn't like, how we can improve on the channel. If you guys are interested in any of the merch, definitely hit me up on Discord. If you guys want to head over to Discord, it's one of the best Discords out there. And we are so close to 10,000 subscribers. We just hit 9,000 today. So appreciate all the support. Thank you for joining the Dirtbag Nation. Help support the channel. Head over to patreon.com. We do coaching. So we have a lot of Dirtbag coaches. If you guys play any army, if you guys just want to get better at 10th edition, it's always good to have somebody in your corner to bounce questions, ideas, tactics, anything you guys need to get better at 10th edition. That's the whole point of Dirtbag Nation. And we're doing a giveaway once we hit $1,000 a month for Patreon, which we're about $50 away. So we're super close to that, giving away a huge giveaway like we did at $500 a month. And then we are going to the Atlantic City Open. So if you guys are going there, leave in the comments below. And we're heading over to Nova this year as well. So those are going to be the 2 majors that we're going to. And then LVO, obviously, we're trying to, I didn't want to throw it out there yet, but me and Mike are really trying to get some coaching going in the area to practice to try and do something like Vanguard Tactic does at LVO. So that might be in the pipeline, but we really have to hit that 10,000 subscriber mark ASAP. So guys, appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video soon. What's up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are thinking about joining the Patreon page, we're going to go over each tier and how it's going to benefit you and what you're looking for specifically to get out of 40k and 10th edition coming up. There's a lot of stuff to go over. There's a lot of tactical videos up on the channel, which is for free. There's going to be a bunch of perks that you get specifically for being a part of the Dirtbag Nation Patreon page. So first off, we have the first tier, which is $1 a month. You guys get first access to the videos over at patreon.com. You also get access to the Discord, which is specifically a private link in the Discord that only Patreon members can see. So you guys will have first access to that. Also a benefit is Patreons over the Dirtbag Nation get live streamed games on patreon.com streamed from YouTube, but there's only links specifically for the patreons.com. So not only do you get first access to these videos, you also get to see live stream games specifically only on patreon.com. The next tier is the Justicar. You guys get a shout out on every single video on YouTube. You also get to support us a little bit more. You get first dibs at voting on Discord, as well as you just kind of say, hey, I just want to be a Justicar Dirtbag and support you guys a little bit more than that $1 a month tier. But you get all the same access as well as the different color over on the Discord. So the third tier is the competitive Dirtbag. This tier, you get a lot more one-on-one coaching. This is a lot of the Dirtbags over on the Dirtbag Nation. They are able to send out messages one-on-one, go over list ideas, tactics, anything you guys want to talk about. When I was getting into 40K, or really any game in general, I always wanted to message the top players in the meta and just ask them questions. This $10 a month tier gets you that opportunity to message us one-on-one on Discord, so that way we can actually coach you, give you our insights, suggestions, and that's going to get you better at the 40k 10th edition as a whole. So that tier alone, just $10 a month to have one-on-one coaching, one-on-one messages anytime throughout the month, that's going to be a perfect tier for you guys. Even if you're brand new to the game, we go over 1,000 point list, 1,500 point list, 2,000 point brand new starting list, team list, anything you guys need. That's what the competitive Dirtbag tier is for. Also, you get a little bit red number name tag on Discord, so people know that you're really serious about getting into the competitive scene. The Grandmaster Dirtbags. This is the all-in-all $25 a month tier. You get one-on-one coaching, everything we said prior to this, but you guys get to see me, Mike, any of the other Dirtbags play your specific list that you want to see tested out live on one of our battle reports. You guys get to mention, suggest videos you guys want to see coming up on patreon.com. So you guys get the above first tier benefit of everything that we do over at Dirtbag Nation. All the support mainly comes from you guys supporting us over here at Dirtbag Nation. And Grandmasters, I can't thank you enough, but for $25 a month, you get one-on-one coaching and anything you want to see live on the tabletop. So you get to see a professional play right in front of you. You guys get to kind of like see it one-on-one, and I'm actually making this specifically for you. There's also TTS events that you guys can suggest. If you guys want to do a first 1 or 2 turn run through on TTS, we can actually log in and coach you one-on-one with that. If you guys see us at any GTs, you guys get special benefits, free dice, stuff like that. Anytime you purchase a merch thing on Discord, you guys get a free limited edition Dirtbag dice sent to you with every single purchase on top of that. So there's a lot of benefits coming up with the Grandmaster Dirtbag. You guys, I can't thank you enough for supporting us. Definitely let me know which tier would be best for you if you go over to patreon.com and specifically go to a tier. And make sure you don't forget to message me up on Discord. That's where we check every single day. If you guys are really into getting into 10th edition 40k, head over to Patreon, join the competitive Dirtbag or the Grandmaster. Message me as many times as you possibly want, and I'll coach you the best I possibly can on any specific army that you guys play. Mainly our armies right now, currently, going into 2024, is going to be Chaos Space Marines, Grey Knights, Death Guard, and then we have Custodes, Sisters, and I think that's it going into the wings of 2024. But again, any other army that you guys play, we have other coaches lined up for the Dirtbags that are ready to take on that role of the competitive Dirtbag page. So guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for joining the Dirtbag Nation if you guys are already part of us. And we'll see you in another video soon.